In this movie, let's take a look at how we can remove unflattering distortion in a photograph. This is an environmental portrait that I captured of a friend who was out surfing. And here I was using a really wide angle lens. And one of the things that I like about that is how it created this kind of look and effect, but she doesn't look her best because of the distortion of the lens. How can we fix that? Here we'll take a two-step approach. The first step will be to look at how we can modify the entire layer. Then second, we'll use liquefy. So let's begin by duplicating the background layer. Drag that down to the new layer icon. And what we'll name this one is free transform, because we will be applying a free transform effect to this layer. Next, go to the edit pull-down menu and choose free transform. Now, one of the things that you can do with your images is you can change the characteristics of them by using free transform. And here I'm just clicking and dragging up. Can you see how it's making the image look a little bit taller and thinner? And I haven't gone very far. I'm not even going past, I don't know, maybe 5% or so, just bringing that up in this way, then press enter or return. And with this type of a free transform, basically what happened was it was sort of squashed down, and then I was just lifting that up, and already it's looking a lot better. Now we can reposition this layer if we want to. We could use the arrow keys to nudge it around because it changed the composition a little bit, but you can see it's definitely a better view of the subject. And let me zoom in so you can see that even better. Here is our before, and then now here's the after. Okay, well that was step number one. Step number two is liquefy. Let's copy this layer again, drag that to the new layer icon. Or if you want to use a shortcut to duplicate a layer, you can do that by pressing Command J on a Mac or Control J on Windows. And this one we'll use liquefy. We'll use the forward warp tool. So we'll go to filter and then select liquefy. This will open up our liquefy dialog. And here in this dialog, we want to use forward warp. We'll need to change our brush size to something a lot smaller there. And we'll leave our density and pressure pretty low. And what I like to do with these two values is I just click and drag and see if it's good. If it isn't, press Command Z, Control Z on Windows, undo that, and then change the values. Because it's really hard to tell. It's really image by image what those values should be. Sometimes you'll realize it's too low and you want to bring it up. So again, I just make the adjustment and then go back. Left bracket key, tap that one a few times to make the brush a little bit smaller there because I want to work on this area. Right bracket key to make it a little bit bigger. Left bracket key to go small here and work on the lower area, kind of the lower back down here. Right bracket key to make it bigger. And often when you're using this particular tool, you'll go back and forth and use smaller and larger brushes. And most importantly, what you should be seeing as you're making these adjustments is that it doesn't look drastic. It's not all of a sudden hugely different. Maybe it doesn't even look very different at all. So that's probably a good thing. And then we can click on that preview check mark to see our before and then after. That's definitely a nice improvement. Then we click OK to apply that. And now we can step through these layers. Let me zoom in so that you can see the results. Here was the original image. And part of this is learning to identify where there are problems. So seeing that problem, saying, okay, hey, how could I fix that? Free transform, that was a good step. And then we did a little bit of liquefy in order to finish it off. And that gives us this before right here, and then now the after.